This person stopped for a while, suddenly seemed to have discovered something, looked towards the underground gully, spiritual mind suddenly investigating. After a long time, he laughed and said, "There is such a thing. Although I don't know what you are useful to the old man." With that said, he actually jumped directly into the underground gully. As soon as he fell down from the cracks in all directions, countless small black shadows sprang out, leaping towards him with teeth and claws. This person was not afraid, but excitedly shouted, "Haha, good come, good come." As he spoke, he suddenly sacrificed a large black flag. The sound of ghost crying and howling was heard from the flag. The sharp voice covered the tone of the black shadows in the ground. On the black flag, there were many struggling faces twisting its face and hissing. This person performed seal arts with his hand, poured the Saint Yuan into the black flag, and said softly, "Go." In the next moment, the black flag turned into a dark curtain, shrouded in the downward direction, and all the little black shadows that rushed over were swallowed by the black flag as if they had encountered a nemesis. And as the process of swallowing, the aura from this black flag became stronger and stronger, and the color became darker and darker. It seems to be able to swallow everything, even light. The horrible swallowing of the black flag obviously made these black shadows panic. Soon, they began to merge and grow bigger, just like when Xianxia and others fled, trying to unite against the black flag. Seeing this scene, the Void King Realm powerhouse wrapped in black, she was not only not surprised, but exhilarated, and muttered, "There is still this ability, well, it is good for the 10,000 soul banner of this king, ha 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 ha." He laughed, stretched out his hand, and the dark curtain falling downward suddenly twisted and squirmed. Immediately afterwards, it turned into a huge and terrifying face. The face was terrifying. There were countless pairs of eyes on the face, and each eye reflected the dazzling divine light, and the divine light contained incredible power. In addition, there was a big mouth of blood on this face. From that big mouth, there was a violent and treacherous roar. The mouth opened, and the crack was bigger than the entire human face, and it bit at the human-shaped shadow that gathered below. The huge black shadow formed by the fusion of countless small black shadows will naturally not wait to die. Its two dark whip-like hands flicked and slammed, trying to block the attack of the 10,000 soul banner. In an instant, there was a mess of flying sand and rocks in the gully underground. But it is still in vain. 10,000 soul banner was not afraid of the huge black shadow's attack at all, and rushed down, biting the huge black shadow on his mouth, and immediately raised its head, like a bird swallowing its prey, swallowing the huge black shadow. Vaguely, a scream came from inside the face. The terrifying human face transformed by the 10,000 soul banner showed a satisfied look at this moment, and the countless pairs of eyes on that face were shining with excitement. Gulp. It gulped vividly. The moment the huge black shadow was swallowed, the remaining fish that slipped through the net fled into the surrounding ground crevices, and they never dared to show up again. They seemed to have noticed that this 10,000 soul banner was their nemesis and they can't resist it at all. Upon seeing this, the Void King Realm powerhouse, who was completely wrapped in black, she stretched out his hand a little bit, and the 10,000 soul banner reappeared and flew back to his hand. On the surface, the 10,000 soul banner hasn't changed much compared to before, but the level of evil it exudes is obviously greater. He. This Void King Realm powerhouse issued a penetrating smile, playing with his secret treasure. Nodding repeatedly, "Yes, not bad. I just came here to have such a harvest. It is worthy of a lost earth. I am looking forward to it." He is just as mentally abnormal. Speaking madly for a while, he laughed and put away the 10,000 soul banner. Wrapped in a cloud of black, she rushed out of the underground gully, and accurately chased in the direction where Xianxia and others had left. Somewhere in the Lost Earth, Sword Union Elder Kuihong was desperately urging his own artifact to fight a bloody battle with a monster beast that was more than 10 feet long and shaped like a winged snake. His luck was not very good. He had just entered the Lost Earth not long after he broke into the territory of this monster beast, and when he was discovered he would naturally fight with it. The most dangerous thing in the Lost Earth is the invisible and shadowless space crack. These spacecraft are scattered irregularly, invisible to the naked eye, and invisible to the spiritual mind. Even if the Void King realm is touched by it, they will not be able to escape death. And the second most dangerous thing is the monster beast living here. The monster beasts here have inherited the bloodline of the ancient species. Affected by the laws of heaven and earth, each one cannot be strong as the ancestor. But, even the monster beasts of the same level are 3 points stronger than those in the star territory. The one Kui Hong encountered was a genuine 10th order monster beast. Judging from its appearance, it obviously inherited the bloodline of the flying feather-winged dragon, but as the time passed, the changes in the laws of heaven and earth and tidal power, it no longer have the brilliance of the ancestors, otherwise Kui Hong will already be dead. However, it is still a 10th order monster beast after all. Looking at the star territory, 10th order monster beast is equivalent to a powerful Void King realm, and it is a rare existence. Fortunately, it seems that this monster beast has only been promoted, and Kui Hong, as the elder of the Sword Union, has treasure armor and artifact that is not low in grade. In the course of the battle with this winged snake, he did not lose much. On the contrary, with all kinds of secret techniques, gradually gained the first opportunity. This winged snake is more than 10 feet long and has a pair of bat wings-like structure on its back. The long snake core in its mouth is extremely flexible. It flies around Kui Hong and shoots the snake core like a steel whip from time to time toward Kui Hong, making him shocked and staggered. After 2 or 3 hours of fierce fighting, Kui Hong struggled to injure it and slashed the winged snake with one blow. He stood on the spot breathing heavily, his whole body was stained red with blood, and he cursed angrily. After resting for a while, he had the strength to collect the winged snake's body into the space ring. At this moment, he did not have the time to take care of the corpse carefully. He could only wait until he leave the lost earth and then slowly deal with it. The corpse of the 10th order monster beast is almost unimaginable in value, especially the inner core of the 10th order monster beast. There is a huge attraction for any Void King realm. When the martial artist reaches the level of the Void King realm, it is extremely difficult to get promoted, because this is the limit of the martial artist of the star territory. If they want to achieve success, in addition to long-term meditation and cultivation, they can only understand the heavenly law martial Tao. Collect those rare spirit pills that can match their cultivation strength. A Void King realm, perhaps 100 years or 1,000 years, cannot break through its own shackles. This is a very common thing. Because of this, in the entire star territory, the top powerhouses of the Third Order Void King realm are rare, and all of them are old monsters that are hidden from public eyes. Because there is nothing in this world that could make them interested. After resting in place for a while, Kui Hong immediately left the place. He was afraid that the bloody smell of this place would attract other monster beasts. With his current state, it is really impossible to fight a battle like just now. In another place, Zilong, the master of Violet Star, took Zedong to walk in the Lost Earth. He seemed to have a very clear goal. He passed by without stopping at all. And their luck is pretty good, they haven't encountered any danger since entering here, so they can walk here with peace of mind. Father, in this lost earth, are there really eternal tree? Zedong followed Zilong, and suddenly asked. After hearing the words eternal tree, Zilong's originally calm eyes suddenly burst with dazzling divine light, and his purple hair rose automatically without any wind, and said slightly, I am not sure about this. But there is also 80% certainty. After all, it is the message left by your grandfather. That eternal tree does exist here. 2,000 years ago, your grandfather came here and saw the legendary eternal tree, but failed to take it. Instead, he was seriously injured by the monster beast guarding the eternal tree, and had to retreat, and finally died in depression. Zedong's complexion changed slightly, and he whispered, this child remember that grandfather should be at the second order Void King realm cultivation level. He was also seriously injured by the guardian monster beast. What kind of monster beast is that? Divine bird. Ancient peacock. Zilong took a deep breath. Divine bird. Zedong's face couldn't help changing his color in shock. As long as a monster beast is linked to the ancient two words, it's better not to provoke it because they all have the means to destroy the world and have a cruel personality. If such a monster beast breaks into the star territory, it will destroy countless cultivation stars, and it will definitely become a disaster for the star territory. Zilong said in a deep voice. At this time, among the star territory, the names of the three great divine weights are widely circulated. One is life growth wine cream, one is soul cleansing divine water, and the last one is undying source liquid. Among these three, soul cleansing divine water appears occasionally, but not many. It may appear once within hundreds of years or thousands of years. However, the life growth wine cream and undying source liquid are long extinct things, at least for the whole time Father has live. I never heard someone has succeeded in finding these two things. The three great divine waters each have special effects, which are the treasures that martial artists dream of. The soul cleansing water can wash the divine soul and make the divine soul more condensed and vigorous. It can strengthen the martial artist's flesh, body and vitality. One drop can shed the body and exchange the bones, wash the mantras and cut the marrow, and make the physical strength extremely powerful. But these two things are much worse than the undying source liquid. Father, what does this undying source liquid have anything to do with the eternal tree? Zedong was curious. It's naturally related. As the overlord of one party, Zilong is majestic and self-reliant, but when facing his son, he is amiable. After all, Zedong has never failed to live up to his expectations. He has high hopes for him as his successor. Please ask Father to teach me, Zedong said in a solemn manner, pretending to be humbly taught. To be continued.